Hey there to my 22 subscribers, my future subscribers, and all the people that secretly watch me without subscribing. Yeah, I'm back to having the glare because I'm recording at night, so no sunshine. But anyway, I just wanted to do this video before I go to bed. And it's a story time about a variety of car accidents I've had. They were all, I don't know if you'd call them minor or lucky or a mixture of the two. But so let's see, the first one, I hadn't had my license for very long. I mean, technically, I guess it depends on what you consider a car accident. So the first incident, I guess you could say, I had just got my license and took my kids for a drive with my roommate, and we, went up this windy mountain, and we realized we were low on gas, and I didn't really have a concept of, how much gas I needed for whatever. So, coming down the mountain, I didn't really want to slow down as much as I should have because I didn't want to have to speed back up. And I was driving fine, pretty good, considering I hadn't had my license for probably more than a week. But came around the corner, and there was a rock in the road that I didn't have time to react to, and the car hit the rock, made it start spinning in circles. And when the car came to a stop, I sat there for a little while, shook up, because I couldn't see anything. There was just so much dust surrounding us in the air. And when the dust finally settled, I was about that close to going off of a cliff. And that was a lesson, really. After that, I was always more cautious when I had my kids in the car, and more cautious in general. But then you're probably wondering, well, why is there more accidents? Well, things happen. And the second time was about a year later, and I had actually had a head injury from something completely different. And even though I was feeling, I don't know, I don't even know how to explain how I was feeling, but I didn't feel like I should have. And I probably shouldn't have been going on vacation with a head injury and me being the only driver. But when I get something in my head that I'm going to do something, generally that thing's going to happen. And so I went on vacation and went up to visit someone, and we went and camped out. I was just really kept falling asleep. I was really tired. I just thought I needed rest. I remember after we were done camping out, I had gone into town and checked my blood pressure on one of those pharmacy blood pressure things, just for the fun of it. I don't know, I thought it was entertaining. And I don't know, my blood pressure was 75/44, and nobody ever told me that that was bad. I'd never heard anybody say, hey, low blood pressure is just as dangerous as high blood pressure. And so I was like, oh, I must be really relaxed. The vacation was doing me some good. That's what I was thinking. And that was a mistake. I dropped my friend, well, it was my boyfriend at the time. I dropped him back off at his place and started the drive home, and I made it less than 20 miles from home, and just blacked out. And I'm not exactly sure what happened. There's like, I've had a couple doctors tell me they thought that maybe my heart stopped and the accident restarted it. I mean, the accident was, from what we could tell, was pretty interesting. I wasn't awake for none of it, but it had appeared that I drove down an embankment, straight down through a fence, across this field. Somehow the car went back up another embankment, through another fence, across another field, and into another fence before I woke up. And in my not well thinking state, I thought, I'm just going to drive back the way I came. And I attempted it and got the car stuck on a fence. And so I started walking home. And I think I walked about 4 miles, maybe 3-4 miles. And I don't know, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, I think. I don't really remember, it was too long ago. But none of the highway patrol would stop and help. I tried flagging them down. I knocked on people's doors, but nobody answers their doors that time of night. And so I'm walking down the highway, and lucky enough that somebody gave me a ride. But yeah, the highway patrolman seemed a little shocked when he seen the car, and we managed to get it out of there. My dad drove it home. I fixed it and started driving it again. That car actually lasted me a really long time. It had almost 200,000 miles on it when I got it. I put another 200,000 plus on it before it was completely wrecked, and not my fault that it was completely wrecked. Because then the next thing that happened was, how many years? Four more years later, day before Thanksgiving, I was working at the courthouse, and I decided to leave the courthouse for lunch, and wasn't even up to the speed limit yet, just going down the road right in front of the sheriff's office. And some girl was at a stop sign, decided that she didn't want to wait for me even though there was no other traffic, and she floored it and pushed me across the intersection, and then backed up to the stop sign and said I hit her. But all the damage was between the front and back tire, and so it was obvious what actually happened. And so I did get paid for that accident, and went and got another car, because that one was done. And let's see, there was another time that I was driving my mom's car, and I'd let the doctors prescribe me a few too many pain meds, and because my health went downhill quite a bit, which I'll get into someday, but for now, just the car accidents. But my health went downhill. I had way too much medication in my system. I just passed out, and took out some Caltrans signs and did $4,000 worth of damage to my mom's car, but nobody was hurt, and very thankful for that, considering back then the only people allowed to use cell phones in the area where we wrecked was US Cellular, because they didn't want anybody using their towers, because that makes sense. And so yeah, we got that fixed. And trying to think, but I know there's something I'm forgetting. I'll remember, probably as soon as I post this, I'll remember. But yeah, I'm actually a very careful driver most of the time. It's just kind of little mistakes. The 2 times that I did wreck, that was my fault. I was unconscious, so I mean, it was my fault I was unconscious, probably. I should have been paying more attention to my health. I'm trying to think, there's other little accidents that I wasn't driving, and I probably shouldn't explain those because I don't want to offend anybody that might have been driving. But yeah, I mean, it happens, right? So anyway, that's my stories. I know there's more. There was one more. I'm tired and I can't remember what it was now. So anyway, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, tell me about your accidents. I'm curious. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
That's me, old man. Okay, let me talk my shit. 100 rounds in the chop, and I'm sitting on the clip. Rest in peace to the hottest rapper alive right now. I'm paranoid, cause they saying I'm the guy right now. Hold on, I'm the guy.